I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't listen to the negative. I know that that's easier said than done because it seems that we are just surrounded by negativity, especially at this time. We go to the store and the shelves are scarce. Workers are hard to come by. The product cannot get produced. The product cannot be delivered. When it can be delivered, there aren't those to stock the shelves. I was craving Demas's just yesterday. I placed my order online and I went to pick it up, and I pulled into the curbside pickup area, and there was a sign there stating that you were going to have to come in to get your order because they didn't have the staff to do curbside deliveries. So I went inside. When I got inside, there was a sign that stated that they have scaled back on their hours because of a lack of staff. They are now only serving dinner on Saturdays and lunch on Sundays, for example. We turn on the television and we see our politicians, who are supposed to be the best that we have as a society, who are supposed to be working for the American people, and all we see are individuals trading jabs and insults back and forth, blaming everyone else for the problems instead of coming together and compromising for the best interest of the American people. I could go on, but it would just get kind of negative at that point. So don't listen to the negative. Listening to the negative will affect you in many different ways. First of all, it will affect you mentally. I will become more negative just because we have listened to it. It's like that first grade science experiment where you take a stalk of celery and put one in a glass that has been colored with food coloring, and this one is red and the next one is blue and the next one is green, and you let them sit overnight, and the next thing you know, the stalk of celery has turned the color of the water. So it is with our mindset. When we listen to the negative, we will become more negative. Not only will it affect us mentally, but listening to the negative will affect us emotionally as well. That negativity will begin to impact us, not just in the sense that we have become negative, but it will then begin to radiate out. And so that nice home that you live in will become a maintenance burden. That job that you got after high school that you were so interested in and passionate about, that job that you went to college to train for, that you were looking forward to getting that degree so that you could do that, that job will become a burden. And what is even worse is that negativity will also result in self-doubt. Perhaps most importantly and dangerously, listening to the negativity will begin to affect us spiritually. I'm thinking about the spies. For anyone who has read their Bible through in a year, they know that there are certain books that are harder to get through than others. One that always makes people's list is the book of Numbers. But we do have a very interesting story in the book of Numbers. It's 6 or 7 verses, so bear with me as I read it with you. It's in Numbers 13. When the spies returned from spying out the land at the end of 40 days, they proceeded to come to Moses and Aaron and to all the congregations of the sons of Israel. And they brought back word to them and all the congregation and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told him, "We went into the land where you sent us, and it certainly does flow with milk and honey. And this is its fruit. Nevertheless, the people who live in the land are strong, and their cities are fortified and very large. And moreover, we saw the inhabitants there. Amalek is living in the land of the Negev, and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites are living in the hill country, and the Canaanites are living by the sea and by the side of the Jordan. Then Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, "We should by all means go up and take possession of it, for we shall surely overcome it." But the men who had gone up with him said, "We are not able to go up against the people, for they are too strong for us." So they gave out to the sons of Israel a bad report of the land which they had spied out, saying, "The land through which we have gone in spying it out is a land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people whom we saw in it are men of great size. There also are the Nephilim, the sons of Anak, and we became like grasshoppers in our own sight, and so we are in their sight." 12 spies. 2, Joshua and Caleb, gave a positive report. 10 gave a negative report. And the negativity of the 10 infected the entire people of Israel. And because they did not believe God's word, because they listened not to the positive report of the 2 spies, but the negative report of the 10 spies, that generation died in the wilderness. They were not permitted to enter the promised land. They were in sight of it, and their negativity kept them out. So don't listen to the negative. Should we be aware of it? Yes. Wisdom would dictate that we be aware of what's going on around us. But we should not allow those negatives to live in our head rent-free. It will rob us of joy, and it will rob us of God's blessings in our lives, either because, like with the Israelites, He removed that blessing from them, or because our own negativity will not permit us to see those blessings. I hope all of you have a great rest of your day. I've got nothing but big love for all of you.